What is happening? Moolah Jason Shepard here. Another amazing evening spending some time with you all. It is day 12 of the 14-day Moolah Challenge. So thankful for another night here together. We're diving into a topic. It may not seem sexy in the title, but it's something we all need to talk about. It's this reliance that so many Americans seem to have on thinking Social Security is going to be around for them to benefit them or retire on Social Security totally by itself. Well, let me be the first to tell you that this isn't a Republican comment. This isn't a Democrat comment. This isn't anything political. Let me just tell you, if you are relying on the government to provide you with your retirement, you've got your faith in the wrong source. Let me put it that way. How about that? We should never put ourselves in a spot. Now, if you're banking on Social Security to help you out a little bit or whatever that may be, maybe an added bonus, that could be one thing, but we need to talk about, is this even going to be around, and how we in your 20s, your 30s, yes, your 40s and 50s, still planning for the future, planning for retirement. That's how I want you thinking, even at your young age, your middle age, your older age, whatever that may be. Rami, I'm on page. You said that's a good one. Yeah. If please don't rely on the government to take care of you. And again, that's not a political statement. It's just truth. That I don't care who you voted for. We're just trying to speak truth here. Let's look at this, because I hear all the time, and I even see in our comments, like on TikTok and Instagram, sometimes these people post these comments, and I leave them because it's just it perpetuates the system, I guess, to hear everyone's thoughts sometimes. But some people are genuinely, that is their retirement plan, is Social Security. So let's just go back. First off, some of you are going, okay, Jason, I've heard this term. What is Social Security? In 1935, President Roosevelt created Social Security, essentially called social insurance. You all have paid into it and you don't even realize it. Hey, Austin, good to see you out there on YouTube as well. This is funded by payroll dollars, payroll taxes. 6.2% is the current Social Security from your paycheck, and your employer matches it on the other side. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are the employer, right, you pay 6.2% of each of your employees' salary, and it goes to Social Security. Your payroll company automatically takes it out. If you get a regular paycheck, I'm not talking a 1099 or anything like that, right? But if you get a regular W-2 paycheck, 6.2% is withheld for Social Security. Now, the question is, will Social Security even be around for you to benefit? I love Rami's comments. I hope Social Security pays my gas for my car when I retire. You know what? That is setting the right expectations, because I love that. Let's answer the question we see not all the time, you see it often in the media. Is Social Security even going to be around when I retire? I kind of fall into the camp of, yeah, it probably will be, but it's going to look a lot different than it does today, meaning it's going to have a lot of potential and just different changes. I love math. I was bad at math in school, but somehow I developed this weird passion for math through aviation and finance and everything else. I just found a love for math. You have to realize that if the math continues, Social Security, that trust fund, is projected to run out by the year 2035. It's 2025, right? We're live right now. It is February 7th, 2025. Social Security will run out if we keep doing what we're doing in the next 10 years. So Will Social Security be around? I love what Mario put on Instagram. Who knows? Well, what we do know is we know the math on this, right, Mario? If we keep doing what we're doing, it's not a good outcome. This is like the doctor going to the smoker and saying, "Hey, if you keep doing what you're doing, this is what's going to happen," right? If you keep doing what you're doing. Well, you're probably going to quit smoking. You're probably going to start working out. You're probably going to start going on some walks and everything else. And Mandy, you're exactly right. It is a scary thought because, Mandy, how many people are relying on Social Security? Like, that is their retirement plan. I'm here to tell you that if no changes are made, future retirees, well, you're likely to get maybe 75%, 80% of your benefits that you were promised, that you paid into. I can't stress this enough. 6.2% of your paycheck is going towards a security fund that might be empty by the time you get there. But are you going to get that 6.2% of your paycheck back? No. You're helping somebody else get maybe 75% of what was promised to them, or 60% by the time they're ready to retire. And by the time you go to retire, you may not get that money back. And that's the scary thought, because you're right, Mandy. Exactly. A lot of people, that is what they're relying on. And that's the scary thought. Now, what could happen? Well, Congress could come in and make some adjustments, but what adjustments? Like, how do you fix this? I personally think there's three options. You raise taxes, boo, that's no fun, right? You raise the retirement age, meaning, okay, now you can't get Social Security until you're 70. You can only retire at 70. You force everybody to work 5 years longer. Everybody pays into the system 5 years longer. And at the end of the day, what did you really just do? You kick the can down the road. It's no longer Mandy's problem. It's no longer Rami's problem. It's our kids' problem. Well, that's no fun for them either. You just delayed that, right? Or you reduce benefits. Or as a few others have said in the chat, you don't retire. You work to the grave. I mean, some of you might think that's exciting. I personally want to enjoy my beautiful wife, our beautiful family, and travel and do great stuff. Like I want to contribute to society, but I don't want to go at 14-hour days my whole life. I don't think that's sustainable. I already got bags under my eyes, right? From some of these long hours we've been putting in just working on moolah and everything else. So let's just go back. Let's look at the math again here quickly. If you were to retire today, what is the average Social Security check? Average, from the highest to the lowest. The average is $1,907 a month. Let me say that again. $1,907 a month. Show of hands, who can live on that? If you can't, put a big no in the comments, right? I would imagine there's a lot of no's going to be flowing into the comments here real quick, because most of you could not live on $1,907 per month. By the way, I'll help you with the math on that. That's $22,884 a year. Like that is not you're not going on a cruise 3 times a year like you were planning. You're not moving to Florida to retire like you were planning. You see, you can't. Mario said, yeah, we'll go to the Philippines. Well, the cost of living there is much, much less. Lots of no's coming in the chat. Can you live on Social Security alone? I mean, maybe some of y'all can. If you want to really downsize, you want to live, move to some low-cost states, Mississippi, West Virginia. You can't live in Hawaii like you were planning. But if you rent or if you have high expenses, retirement is going to be so difficult. I mean, think of it this way. I did some other research. The average 1-bedroom apartment is $1,500 a month in the United States. 1 bedroom. They call retirement your golden years. I don't think a 1-bedroom apartment is not golden years for me. I want to have space and have the grandkids over and friends over and live in a great community and all of this stuff, right? Not enjoyable. So if your average Social Security benefit is $1,907 a month, you've got food. Hey, by the way, don't buy eggs because at $14 a dozen, your $1,907 is going to go quickly. So you can't buy eggs right now, can you? What about your health care? What about just your transportation? I want you in a reliable, safe vehicle. Reliable and safe being the two key words there. $1,900 a month doesn't help check both those boxes. And other expenses. You want to spoil your grandkids. You want to go on trips together. You want to take care of the family. So what can we do if right now we're thinking, okay, we all agree Social Security is not going to be enough. I'm feeling a little bit behind. What can I do? All right. There's the obvious. I could delay taking Social Security and work a little bit longer. I could reduce my expenses. I could, as we were talking earlier, I could just not retire. I could just keep on going. Or we could do what really the goal of this 14-day Moolah Challenge really is. The goal of this is to make 2025 your best financial year yet. But in reality, a great 2025 leads to a great 2026, leads to a great 2027, which is that 20-mile march of putting one foot in front of the other, one small decision. Small, good decisions compound and lead to big wins. Stop looking for the home runs. Stop waiting for that waterfall check, that bonus, whatever it is. Start saving for retirement now. Show of hands, who has a 401k? Who has an IRA? Maybe put it in the comments if you'd be so humble to share. I have a 401k, but I don't have an IRA, or I have both, or I have neither, whatever that is. You need to start saving for retirement. And I'm sorry, I got to put my dad hat on for a second. I'm a father of 3. I'm allowed to put my dad hat on. If your employer offers a 401k, even better, right? Even better if they offer a 401k match. Mandy's got a 401k. Love it. Love it. Even better if Mandy, and again, we don't need to get into all the specifics. You can just kind of think out loud. You don't need to leave it as a comment, but hopefully you get a match. And Mandy, I hope you're taking advantage of that match as well. Rami's got a 401k as well. Awesome. For those of you that have a 401k, I hope you're taking advantage of that match. I hope you're not taking loans out against it. I hope you're not taking early withdrawals, all these things. Like, time is not really your friend when it comes to this, when you're taking money out. It's about time in the market, not about trying to time the market. And I know sometimes it hurts. You know, Mario, I know, and I'm so thankful you have a 401k, Mario. Sometimes it hurts, like when you're taking that $100, $200 out of your paycheck, but you get that 1% or that 2% match, and it's a little bit nicer. You see, I want you to change your perspective. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Time out. Let me say it again. If you learn nothing else from these past 15 minutes, let it be that quote that just sits deep in your heart. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. I need you to learn to be patient. I need you to get excited when that $200 is taken out of your paycheck because your employer is matching it or matching a percentage of it. You need to maximize your match. Now, here's the next challenge to all of this as well. Mario, Rami, Mandy, many others that chimed in that you have a 401k. Did you know you can simultaneously have a 401k and an IRA, individual retirement account? Let me say that again. You can have a 401k because that is an employer-sponsored retirement program, and you can have an IRA, an individual retirement program. And if you are self-employed, like Gus, I see you out there. If you're self-employed, you should set up an IRA. And Gus, you should set one up for Laura as well. So you each have your own that you're contributing to. And by the way, I hope you do it all through Moolah, right? And this is not a sales pitch. It's just a great low-fee way to do it, to get a portfolio that's going to maximize your returns. Rami and I have been talking about this the past few days on how Rami has 10, 15 years where he wants to maximize everything. Well, how can we make the smart trades, the smart investments, the smart portfolio allocations, diversifications to make sure we're maximizing our returns, at least at the S&P 500 benchmark, right? That's what we've really been talking about. So now picture this, Mandy. I've got my 401k. I hope your spouse perhaps has a 401k at their retirement, at their employer as well. You're maxing it out, and Mandy, you look young based on your profile picture. I'm assuming your max is probably $18,000 that you can max contribute, and hopefully you're hitting that max or getting as close as you can to that, or you've got a strategy or an idea of getting closer to that. And then an IRA allows you probably, again, I'm guessing Mandy is younger based on the profile picture, you can contribute based on your age up to $7,000 into your IRA. Now let's do the math. Mandy's contributing $18,000 a year with her employer matching some of that. Her spouse is another $18,000 into their 401k with hopefully an employer match. They each set up an IRA that they can add $7,000 to a year. So there's $14,000 there as well. And now you've got these four accounts, just Mandy. It is a wheel. Let's use a snowball instead. It's a little snowball. And then next 2026, it gets bigger. And 2027, it gets bigger. And you're contributing and you're contributing. And Mandy, all of a sudden, you've got 4 retirement accounts. And you're going, I like this a lot. And since you're smart, Mandy, when the kids turn 18, you're going to say, listen, y'all aren't going to appreciate this now, but for your 18th birthday, I set y'all up an IRA account. You're not going to thank me today. You're going to think I'm being a mom. You're going to thank me when you're 65. Trust me, right? That's what all 3 of our kids are getting for their 18th birthday. We're setting them up with an IRA account. Not sexy. They may not appreciate it at 18, but they're going to appreciate it when they're 65. They go, man, my mom was smart. My dad was smart. Do you see? Picture it now. Just think about it now. But that's 4 possible retirement accounts that, by the way, the reason we have these retirement vehicles is for the tax benefits. Now, I want to share 2 things, and then I'll open it up for questions. A question you're going to get on a 401k or an IRA is, well, Jason, do you want a traditional or do you want a Roth? And most people go, I don't know, like a traditional versus a Roth. Here is how it works. How a traditional works is you pay tax on the money that you earn, and then you put it in your 401k or your IRA. The tax is already paid on that money. So when you turn 65, you go to take that money out, there is no tax consequence. Some of you are saying, huh? That sounds awfully good. I can agree with some of that. The other says I pay my tax at the end when I pull it out. Well, let's time out here real quick. When are you going to be in the highest tax bracket? Well, probably the older you get, the more money you're going to make. You're going to find yourself from the 14% tax bracket to the 15% tax bracket. You're going to be creeping your way on up. I would make the very strong argument that you will be at the highest tax bracket when it comes time to retire. That is why I recommend, listen, get the tax thing done, right? Get all that out of the way. Pay your taxes here today when you're in the lowest tax bracket. That is your Roth. I'm sorry, I flipped those 2 when I was speaking earlier. That is your Roth. Pay the taxes here now. So when you go to withdraw, right, I'm in the lowest tax bracket I'll probably ever be at 36 years old. Because when I'm 65, I plan on making a whole lot more money. Tax me at my tax bracket now at 36, not at my tax bracket when I'm 65. By the way, who knows in those 20-something years what's going to happen, almost 30 years, what's going to happen to our tax code and to our tax system. I can tell you one thing, taxes aren't going down. We can all agree that taxes are going to go up. There is one exception. And my exception is someone like Rami. And this isn't individual advice for you, Rami. This is generic advice for people in your situation. Rami, many live streams ago, said, Jason, cool advice. I get it. I'm downloading Moolah. We got this thing figured out, man. We're going to do it together. But I want to retire in 10, maybe 15 years. The case I could make for that, Rami, is put the money as much as you can in that IRA, in that 401k, without paying the taxes yet, pay the taxes at the end. Because you only have 10, 15 years, more money in there will allow it to compound faster in that 10 to 15 years. Does that make sense? Did I lose anybody there? Does that make sense? Think about it that way. If you have a shorter time horizon, I do recommend a traditional retirement account, 401k, IRA in the traditional sense. You put your money in there. You have not paid tax on it. You will pay tax when you take it out. But because you have a shorter time horizon, that allows a larger balance to accrue and compound faster. If you are young, set up a Roth. Set up a Roth. Pay the taxes here today, Gus, at 30-something years old, because you're in the lowest tax bracket you'll ever be in. And when you're 65, you're going to be making a ton of money, and you're going to be in a 30% tax bracket, and you'll be so thankful you paid tax back when you were on a 14% tax bracket. Roth says, I pay the taxes today. Traditional says, I pay the taxes when I withdraw and retire. They both have pros and cons. All right. So that's what I want you to think about. If you've got a 15-year time horizon, just put the money in there, let compound interest work. Yeah, you're going to pay that tax when you pull it out, but you had a chance to grow your money that much faster and offset some of those taxes. As opposed to you're in your 30s, maybe even in your low 40s, like under 45. If someone comes to me and they're under 45, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say a Roth is probably right for you, unless you're like making such a killing right now financially that it doesn't make sense. But my wife and I, we are in, and I say this humbly, we're doing well financially. We still do a Roth, pay the taxes here today, so we enjoy it in retirement at the end. And I still believe, because I believe taxes are just going to go up in the next 30 years. They have to. Based on, for those of you who jumped on late, we're talking, is Social Security going to be even available for me? And the answer is probably not, right? And if it is, they're going to have to raise taxes to do it and increase our deficit and our budget. And this is not a political statement, by the way, but we currently have an administration who is cutting a ton of expenses. Now, by the way, I am all for cutting expenses. But I'm just telling you, Social Security and these sort of things could be the things that end up on the chopping block that get a hard look in the coming years. And again, not a political statement, but politics affect a big portion of our tax code, which affects our retirement, which affects, are you going to get Social Security? I mean, in a perfect world, back to Rami as an example, Rami, you do a traditional IRA in addition to your 401k you already have. And maybe there's still some Social Security left for you in 15 years, and you get an extra $1,000 a month, right? In addition to those. That is how I want you really thinking in all of this. I realize this is not like a glamorous topic to talk about retirement. I'm sorry I had to put my dad hat on and everything else. Thank you for the kind words. There's my beautiful wife. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate all that. That means a lot. Because this is a very complex topic. It's almost borderline taboo to kind of even talk about sometimes. And it is just such a misunderstood topic. But let's just give kind of a final takeaway as we wrap this up. And by the way, if you are new, we're on day 12 of the 14-day Moolah Challenge. We've been doing a video each morning, a live stream each night. Like, subscribe, follow here so you don't miss tomorrow and Sunday. Will be the grand finale live stream. For those that just jumped on, my wife and I have been developing the Moolah app, which I'm just waiting for Apple's approval. I know so is Rami and so many others in the chat. They're just taking their sweet little time, hopefully launching Monday, because I'm sure they don't work over the weekend. But it's a great way to set up your IRA. And as I was sharing, we're using AI and your preferences and your goals and your risk tolerances to build basically a personalized Mandy's IRA portfolio, Hunter's IRA portfolio, Austin's aggressive IRA portfolio, Rami's balanced, slightly conservative retirement portfolio. Like, it builds it to you to maximize your returns. And it is all self-elected. You can hop in there and tweak and everything else as well. But it's just a great, great platform from an investing and a retirement standpoint. So I'll keep you all posted on. I'll email you all as well. But do make sure you like, subscribe here as well. One final takeaway, then we'll wrap this up as well. Social Security alone is not going to be enough for a comfortable retirement. And like I said, if changes are not made, these benefits are going to be reduced in the next 10, 15 years. We're going to run out of money by 2035 in the Social Security program, for those of you that missed it. Like run out of money. That thing, that 6.2% that's been pulling from your paycheck every 2 weeks, yeah, it's going to run out of money by 2035. That's a scary thought to think about. And what happens to your money you've been contributing? Like that's a little scary as well. You need a backup source. I think the biggest takeaway is the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Let's start planting the seed. Let's start planting the seed, and we'll work on that. Hey, if you want to I saw Hunter and Mandy and a few others just posted on Instagram and on TikTok. Will you put your emails in the chat real quick? And I'll copy them. Magda, will you get Mandy's on Instagram? And Hunter, I'm sure I have yours, but let me grab it from you real quick. And then you can delete it so the world doesn't have your email. Let me just grab it real quick. And I'll email you all. I'm hoping Monday Moolah gets approved and out there. I would love to have you all in there as customers 1, 2, and 3. It would mean the absolute world to Magda and I. Again, we are here. If you would rather DM me, by the way, DM us. DM any of our pages. That way the world doesn't have your email. That's totally fine too. Don't worry about that. So if you'd feel more comfortable, anywhere, send it. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It doesn't matter. You can send it to this is, thank you, Mandy. Magda's got it, she said. This is our personal Instagram too, if you feel even more comfortable sending it there, whatever you want. And then Mandy, we got it now. You can delete that comment so the world doesn't spam you. We're not going to do it. That's for sure. Anyways, y'all are such a blessing. Like, thank you for hanging out for such a weird topic. Social Security is not a glamorous thing to talk about. But this is your future at the end of the day. Like, we are called to create generational wealth. Like, this isn't just like trying to survive. I want you all to create generational wealth. Thanks, Mario. So yeah, send us a DM. This isn't just about helping Mario out. This is about Mario's kids and Mario's kids. Like, I want people to look back and say, man, my dad Mario really set me up for success. Grandpa Mario, that dude was smart. I wish I was half as smart for what he did for our family. Like, that's the level of heart that we have in this education. I hope that comes through in everything that we do. So listen, go out, be a blessing in everything that you do. I know tomorrow is Saturday night. We'll be live again tomorrow, live again Sunday night. Those will be the last two. If not, go catch up on some homework as well. Listen, have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your night. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you.